Hello everybody, how you doing? I'm starting this off with the Have Mercy gesture because there comes a time in every man's life when he has to decide, is it right to murder this person? And I don't know who it is you're planning on killing, or why, or what's going on in your life, but I've decided to make a big affirmative on my murders here and kill Kale. I want to make it clear that you do not have to do this. Originally, it was a good thing to do here because you have to kill the final boss of the game, the Queen Nashandra, before you could get involved with Kale here and get his helmet. So really, the only thing for us to do in order to continue this quest line, I have justified with very odd logic, is to murder him. In order to get the next, continue Navlan's quest line and get Forbidden Sun, you need to kill Kale. And since he's a useless character and doesn't give you anything of any value, there's not really any point to keeping him alive. He's not hard to kill. I think, though, they changed in a patch at some point. So, you don't have to kill Nashandra. I think you just have to kill the Throne Watcher and Defender. The boss fight. The boss fight before Nashandra. I'm very sorry, a cat is climbing over me as I'm trying to speak here. So really, you probably just need to go fight that boss fight, but I don't feel like doing that right now. What I feel like doing is continuing the Navlan fight, and in order to do that, murder. I'm sorry. He really has no way of defending himself. I never really got into the whole map quest line anyway, but now that we have Kale's helmet, let us return to Royal Sorcerer Navlan. Royal Sorcerer makes him seem like a like he worked for the king, or he worked for the kingdom in some capacity, but who knows? The guy is crazy. Nobody knows what he was doing there. And let me see about something here. Okay. One of the things that you need in order to give Navlan, or show that you've proved you've killed someone, is the Emerald Herald's feather that she gives you. That's unlimited homeward bone. And that just seems like a real mistake. In Demon Souls, I can almost guarantee you that what would have happened is that you had to kill that character in order to get that feather. You had to do it. There was no way around it. And that makes it a more powerful choice, a more interesting choice, a more worthwhile choice. And unfortunately, we don't have to do that. You just have to wait like 10 minutes, if that, to kill the Guardian Dragon, and bam, feather. So, they either should have put it in a lot earlier in the game, so you had to choose whether you wanted to wait to get Forbidden Sun. But even then, I mean, I think you would give up your ability to level up unless she has a gravestone. Let's talk.
Fine work. This is my thanks. Take it. Now let's discuss our next mark. I want you to kill one more. Your target is Felkin the Hexer. As proof, bring me that peculiar scepter of his. What do you say? Yes, very good. But he will be formidable. Be cautious.
He's not kidding there about him being formidable. I tried to kill him once, and yeah, that's he's actually pretty tough. Unless they nerfed him, I don't know. But we can already get his scepter just outside the door, so we don't need to kill him. We don't need to kill anybody.
Fine work. This is my thanks. Take it.
Oh, sweet Mama Forbidden Sun. Oh.
Now let's discuss something of importance. You could kill a dozen like that and it wouldn't matter. I want you to kill someone of import. I want you to kill the girl in Majula, known as the Muse. They say that she is the last firekeeper, but they say a lot of things. That she's a gentle shepherd, lighting the way for you cursed fools. Nonsense. Once she is dead, I will have no regrets, and I will be content to remain here. The girl will have a peculiar feather. Bring it to me. Now go along. Yes, that's the feather. Good. Oh, that is very good. Your reward. Take it.
An unleashed magic. What is that? The one that wears like 60 intelligence. Oh, 58 intelligence. I think it allows you to cast some your magic, your sorceries more powerfully, but you lose HP. I don't think I've ever actually used this, because I don't think there's really much of a point to bringing up your intelligence past 50. This and this, that's kind of excessive, and I don't know if it's worth it. And now that we have done his quest line, he actually will be unlocked as a merchant. And he sells a number of wizard things. A witch hat. I don't know what it is about the Souls games, but all of them, Demons, Dark Souls 2, all of them force you to wait an agonizingly long time to get a witch's hat. There are so many times when I want to cosplay as a witch, and they give you the branch, they give you lots of stuff, but they make you wait freaking forever to get the witch hat. It makes you wait till almost the end of the game until you get it in Dark Souls 1. Although technically I think you can get it early, but it requires beating a very tough boss that you're not like fucking around with until the end of the game. And, you know, at least in this game, unlike Demon Souls, you don't have to murder a character to get it. I hated doing that in Demon Souls. Yuri was one of my favorite characters, but... And this thing over here is like the most stereotypical wizard outfit ever. Like even the guys in Harry Potter wouldn't wear something this ridiculous. Thunder Quartz, useless. Tons of unlimited great arrows, destructive fire, and lightning, so that is definitely worth it. Lots of bonfire ascetics, very nice. Rouge Water, Dragon Charm, not really important, or Crimson Water. And 2 spells, which I think you can get elsewhere. I don't think you need to come here to get it. So that's his quest line, and that was a lot of fun. He also mentioned something, I forgot to mention this about the Emerald Herald, but she is actually the ancient hag that we see in the opening cutscene that is guiding us towards Drangleic. And it's implied here very heavily that she is not a very good person and is actually trying to trick us into doing this and sort of force us along the paths of fate. And she pretty much is, so, you know. I mean, she's not evil exactly. It depends on how you want to look at things about life and death and light and dark, but, well, I don't think she's that evil, but she's certainly not good.
These are for you. Don't mind the specks of blood. Now I am at peace. I will sit here and watch the world turn. Now I am at peace.
So he gave us his armor set there, and it's okay looking. It's a bit looks a bit stiff and formal for me. I do, however, really like the headpiece because it has where are you? This ridiculous kind of there it is. You see, the eyes are covered because it's a dark armor. I'm not crazy about it. This, outside of the headpiece, I do like it though. But anyway, we do have some things to look at, to do. He mentioned the Firekeepers, and the Emerald Herald is some sort of Firekeeper. And in Dark Souls 1, the Firekeepers were the people keeping the last embers, the last little flames of life still alive in the world in the encroaching age of darkness. However, they were said to be twisted, malformed, and impure, and they were attacked and disliked for what they did and considered monstrous in some way. Although maybe that was just the superstitions of the people there. But in here, the Firekeepers seem to have given up and bought a little cottage in the countryside or something. And what is the other one doing? Is she keeping the far fire, and are the other fires being kept? I don't know. If you talk to this one out here, if you reach Castle Drangleic, you can come back to her, and she will give you 6 free human effigies, which is really nice. And you can also kill these guys, and you will be rewarded with human effigies for killing each one. However, I don't really feel like doing that right now. I usually wait until the very last moment before doing that, like the last couple of seconds of the game to bother with that. I may have mentioned this way back in the first or second episode, probably the first episode, but there are 2 ogres over here on this side. And if we kill both of them, we get access to a lovely little coffin that is very useful. And it's great that you can change your character from male to female, because keeping excited and interested about your character is one of the biggest parts of a Souls series, because you're based so much around what items your character uses, that being able to, and what outfits that they wear, being able to change that on a whim is so important, is great. And I really, really approve of it. In New Game Plus, this area actually has a couple of red phantoms in it. They make it a little bit harder for you. And it's just great that you can do that. But like I said, I don't think you can change your actual appearance of your character here, which is a big problem. It's not like in Grand Theft Auto where you can go to the barber shop and change it up. So that was definitely annoying. I didn't like that. They almost had it. And being able to find new equipment, new items, new armor is such a big, important part of keeping things going. Like, if I didn't have this lovely little kilt here, I don't know if I would keep going too much. And there are 2 of them here, and the other one is just next to him. But we're so powerful, these guys do not stand much of a chance at all. I wonder if you can make them fall off if you get them close to the bridge. Huh. Yeah, maybe that's possible if you wanted to change your character that early in the game. But if it was that early in the game, why would you bother frickin', just restart the game and make your character different? Alrighty. Now that we have killed these 2 guys, and I don't think there's an item here, we can, let's check in, I think the other ogre's standing back here. We can get rewarded with a, some sort of with a rather special reward from one of the Firekeepers, the youngest of them. She will give us something, a weapon far more powerful than our deepest desires. I apologize if anyone hears any sort of snoring or anything, because there is a rather large cat that has decided to ignore the piles and piles of cloth and beds and every other thing imaginable to keep her sated and a place to sleep, and is sleeping on me at the moment.
You have proven yourself to the forest. We have little to offer, except perhaps these. May they bring fortune to your journey in some small way. This is a limbo, a link between Drangleic and the outer world. Fair traveller, I know that you must have a story. Why else would you visit such a place? This lost, decayed kingdom.
We're going to be coming back to murder these guys later, and it is advised that you do kill them if you want to be invaded more often. Because the way that invasions work with blue sentinels is that they hunt down people that are guilty. And if you murder people, like I killed Kale and Lucatiel, and will eventually kill those firekeepers, you're going to attract the attention of the blue invaders. So if you're worried about not being invaded and you like to test yourself by being invaded a lot, it's good to come and do that. Tragically, though, in Dark Souls 1, you only had to kill, I believe, one person, one murder, and you could be hunted down by the blue sentinels. So it was very simple. Unfortunately, in this game, I think you have to kill multiple people, like maybe upwards of 10, in order to arouse the attentions of the blue invaders. So I don't know how they're supposed to invade people, unless they, if you're just killing NPCs, because it's kind of ridiculous. Seems like they were deliberately making the blue sentinels more difficult, although in the original game, it was a lot harder to find the blue sentinels. You had to go through all this rigmarole and get a ring and go to this little small area, and it was hidden. But anyway, this is the Handmaid's Ladle. It is a troll weapon. It's a joke. It has 10 durability, which I think, aside from a staff in the Ivory Crown DLC, is the lowest in the game. It's almost impossible to use this for very long before it breaks. Although I have seen people do run-throughs, amazingly, with this weapon. I don't know why they necessarily did that. Probably just to joke around. And yes, rather than run the 10 feet, I think I'm just going to warp to Bajula, because I'm a lazy guy. I feel like Cheech and Chong when they got into the car and then drove it across the street. There are a couple of little things we can get here that I may have forgotten to mention. Let us talk to Cloanne, the ore trader here. And you get a free piece of Twinkling Titanite. Yep, that's right. A little bit of help. Yep, whatever, right. Oh, bangs are eating her. She needs to do something about that. And now you see she sells 1 slab, 10 chunks. I already bought 2. 3 Twinkling Titanites, 3 Petrified Dragon Boners. She's got a bunch of stuff here, which is very nice. And this guy, because we spoke to him so much, will give us... He gets nice! And he decides to give us this. The Blacksmith's Hammer. I actually started to do that little peasant build on another character, and I was shocked to find that the craftsman's hammer that you get, not from him, but the one that you get from Macduff's workshop, if you upgrade that just to +1, I didn't even have the stats to use it one-handed. It was an amazing weapon. I could not believe that. That was I was shocked. I was two-shotting the Sentinels over in Hyde's Tower of Flame. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. That was crazy. How good that weapon was. Well, maybe I already got this from her. I might have already picked it up at an earlier time, but if you talk to Malencia, you can actually get... Let's see if I have it. Where are you? Covetous, yeah, Covetous Silver Serpent Ring +1. If you buy a certain amount. All of these items they're giving me are predicated on them on me buying a certain amount of their stuff. So I decided to do that. And they give you a little freebie, which is nice. And the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring, I told you already, is not that useful. So, that fucking lantern. This pisses the fucking lantern. Give me that lantern. Give me that lantern. Don't make me get salty with you, woman. Anyway. It does annoy me that there are lanterns and we're wandering around here using friggin' torches. But we have to go talk to the armorer. However, we're going to use the dark side to surrender our souls and have absolutely zero. That did serve me well recently, or not recently, a few weeks ago in another playthrough when I got stuck somewhere on the scenery and I couldn't move and I had to use it to get out and I didn't have any homeward bones on me. But now that we have zero, and there's no way to retrieve those souls, by the way, if you use the dark side, it just sort of eats them. We can go down here and talk to this guy, this smooth son of a bee. And if we talk to him with 0 souls at this level, I think only at this level of his equipment where he has pretty much everything, we can. He gives us the Armor of Horus. And the Armor of Horus is a weird set of armor, because if you'll take a look at it here, where are you? Oh boy, where are you? I thought I could spot it easily because of how odd. There it is. It's actually invisible. Yeah, that's peculiar. And you can actually get the visible version of this armor, but you can only get it in New Game Plus from an invader, sort of like the Berserker armor, an invader in No Man's Wharf. However, he disappears, unlike the Berserker guy, after one fight. So you only have one shot in order to get it, and after that, you're pretty much screwed. Now, I think that I'm going to be ending this. So I'm trying to see if there's anything I may have forgotten. Yeah, I think I will go try and take on the Uzumawatcher, the Throne Watcher and Defender. This is a kind of an interesting idea to this fight. Obviously, by the title, Watcher and Defender. You know, there are 2 of them. They're unfortunately just big armored guys, so, you know, nothing too exciting there. However, the trick to these guys is that you have to fight them both at the same time, of course, but also you have to kill them essentially at the same time. Because if you reduce one all the way down, if you get rid of all of its hit points, it doesn't disappear, it kind of stays there and waits. And about 30 seconds go by, I think, then the other person, if they're still alive, they will resurrect them. So you have about, you have a tiny window of time, and you have to gradually reduce each of their health piecemeal. You can't just do it all at once. Now we can open this area. This is actually the area to the final boss of the area, Nashandra. However, the only way we'll fight Nashandra is if we've defeated another boss in the Forest of Fallen Giants called the Giant King. I think that's his name. And let's head down here from the central Castle Drangleic, or the King's Gate, rather, bonfire. This actually looks really cool. I like this area. It doesn't have enough, as much of an atmosphere, for instance, as the way down to Gwyn. That had an amazing atmosphere to it. But it's okay. I think it would be a little bit better if there were not these torches on the side, if it was more pitch dark on the way down, or maybe with just very, very faint light. This is actually a good area, by the way, if you're looking to co-op. If you leave your summon sign down here, or even up at that bonfire, this is a good place to co-op. And there are actually 2 NPCs here that we're going to bring along. Vengarl and Benharta Yugo. And now that I think about it, it's possible that we'll be able to get Benhart's stuff now. Because like Lucatiel, You have to, I think, live through 4... Benhart has to live through 4 of his things, but let's start the fight. It just kind of begins unceremoniously. They both have very interesting shields, by the way, these guys. The Throne Watcher there, her shield is actually really cool for a mage build. And the Defender's shield that the other guy has is really, really cool. See, we're not doing this right because we're taking too much health away from the Watcher and not enough from the Defender. These guys, I think, do tend to survive this fight, though. I think they usually do. I think they are programmed to focus more on you than the other guys. I don't think... I remember trying this on my first couple attempts to knock them off the edge, but I don't think that's possible. Like, to get them to do that little backwards movement, but over the edge of the cliff. I don't think you can do that. You're more likely to accidentally send yourself off the edge. Need to hammer away at that Defender. At one point in the fight, sort of when they're about half health, they will throw away their shields, I think, and buff their weapon. Yeah, see, they just did it. Oh, well, no, the Watcher doesn't get rid of her shield, only the Defender. I love the Watcher's shield, by the way. These guys are great to come to because they will actually give you incredible swords. One for a faith character, the other for an intelligence character. We're very close now. Okay, good. We're almost there. Come on, Benhart. Don't punk out on me. Finish her off. There we go. The Watcher Greatsword is a great sword for a great sword. Is an excellent greatsword for characters that are intelligence build, because it scales with intelligence, and the Watcher and the Defender's greatsword scales with faith, and both of them have a two-handed strong attack, or rather I think if you two-hand the weapon, as you're doing a what is it, a parry or something like that, the left trigger, you have a special animation where they will buff their weapon with lightning or magic. So coming here is really useful. It's really cool to get their armor. Their souls can be used to make great weapons or shields. Obviously, if you want both, you gotta fight them again. And as you saw, it's not outrageously difficult. They're not a horrendously difficult fight by any means. And we have their armor here. The Throne Watcher armor, I've been told, kind of resembles King Allant's armor from Demon Souls, which sort of, kinda, I'm gonna put it on, it kinda sorta does. Why the hell can't we get Allant's armor in Demon Souls? I mean, obviously you have to wait till the end of the game, or no, not the end of the game, until you fight him, which doesn't need to be at the end of the game. It does kinda look like that, it resembles it. So if you wanted to do a build as King Allant, this might be good. It's really just good armor for a mage in general. It provides good defense at 139, but it also looks sort of mage-ish. And let's see here. I think in the next fight we're probably going to polish off good old-fashioned Sur Allan. But until then, I will be praising the sun. See you then, guys.